Hi everyone, I'm Kelly and this is my first how-to video. I'm not good on the video camera. I'm not good on this end of it. But I wanted to start a series of how-to things to do, fun crafts to do. And so you guys are going to be my guinea pigs today on this DIY project. So today we're going to be making coasters out of ceramic tiles. It's very simple. It won't take very long and won't need a lot of instruction, but I thought I'd show you how to do that today. So let me go ahead and go over a list of things that you need, and I will put these in the drop down on the YouTube video and where you can get the supplies. You're going to need a bottle of Mod Podge. You can get that anywhere. Well, not anywhere, that's not true. Amazon, Hobby Lobby, Michael's, even Walmart has this. You'll need some sponge brushes for application. Mod Podge has some nifty little brushes that you can use or that you can purchase to use. Ceramic tiles. Now, they have all kinds of different ceramic tiles, but you're going to want the smooth ones for the application. I got black and white because sometimes I want white, sometimes I want black. So it's just whatever your preference is. And these really don't cost very much. I think they were maybe 20 cents. I got these at Lowe's. You can get them at Home Depot. Another thing you're going to need for the bottoms of the coasters when you go, so that they don't scratch up your tables, are these little Scotch felt pads. These come in so many different sizes, and you can get the, what's this called? It's called the value pack, and there's 162 felt pads in here. So you should be able to make a lot of coasters with that. Another thing you're going to need is either, now I've taken 4x4 pictures, or I went and bought some, these are pages that you can get in the scrapbooking section at Hobby Lobby or Michael's. This is what I got. I was going to make some for my daughter-in-law that I haven't made yet. I was going to make them for Christmas, and it's now March, so maybe I'll get around to it for her birthday. But I've got different kinds, and we're hunters in our family, so camo is huge. So I got some camo, but you can also take 4x4, because this is 4x4, a 4x4 picture, or cut it with a picture. I mean, you can cut the picture for the size, and you can use a Fiskars cutter. This is what I use. I've had this 100 years. It still serves its purpose, but I use that to cut my sizes out. Now, one thing that you're going to need, you can use an old credit card, an old debit card, something of hard plastic. I have a Pampered Chef scratcher. I got these over the years, and I never used them for my Pampered Chef. And I found a purpose for them to smooth out what you're doing. These were great. I had more, and I've been searching for them for this project, and I have no idea where I put them. So I had to go to my kitchen cabinet and get the one that I actually do use out of there to show you. So what you're going to do first off is you're going to cut your shapes out. Now, I have already cut a couple pieces out, and I will admit that while I was trying to do one for this video to show you ahead of time and let it dry, I screwed up. And so I don't have that one anymore. I didn't use this. And so I had to scrape the and I've got a good clue. Anyway, this is what happens when you're doing a craft. You get messy. And I'm just going to leave this on this video because I've started this about 5 times now, and I'm not going to start it anymore. I'm just going to let you see the way it is. So what you need to do is you definitely need to protect your workspace. Now this normally isn't my workspace. This is my workspace, but I couldn't do a video from there, so I'm going to do the video from here. I usually put newspaper down. I have little plastic cups. You can get these anywhere. Again, not anywhere. They might not have them at your local grocery store, but you can get them at Walmart. You can get them in a craft section. You can order them online at Amazon. Always make sure you have a trusty rag in case you get the Mod Podge on you somewhere. But we're going to start with making sure that our surface is clean and dry. And you're just going to make sure it's dry. You're going to make sure that you have your pieces cut out, and I do. I did do these here several weeks ago. I took a picture. I just had it developed at Walmart, cut it 4x4. You can actually order them 4x4 size, and then you won't have to actually do any cutting. But I made these, and not really sure what this is called. Maybe a rack. I'm not sure. But you can also take your tile, put a picture of your grandchild or your children on here. You won't need to use the felt pads. You can just display them on your table as a picture frame. So what we're going to do first is I've put a little Mod Podge in the plastic cup, and I have my sponge applicator. And what you do is you just get a little on here, and you just brush enough to get your tile pretty well saturated with the Mod Podge, because this is going to dry clear. So you don't really have to worry about marks and lines. But try to keep it going in the same direction. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take your 4x4 piece of whatever it is that you want to put on here. And you can do anything, whatever decor you want. We're a hunting family, so we like camo. If you're into hunting, use hunting. If you're into hiking, camping, even you can even get paper to go along with any pattern that you have or color scheme that you are using. They had some super cute, super cute different ones there that didn't even apply to anything that I have that I wanted. But anyway, so you're going to take this and you're going to set it down on top of that. Now, this is where your Pampered Chef scraper or whatever you're using comes into play. You're going to position that on, and then you're going to take the straight edge and just kind of straighten out your paper. You're going to work out any bubbles in the paper, but don't apply hard, because as I can see, I'm leaving marks in this, and that's not what I want to do. Just very carefully press down and smooth out. I didn't do that earlier, and I had some major bubbles in it. And then I had to take it under the sink, under some water, and work it loose and scrape it into the drain plug. And so it is no more. It's gone. It's history. So, and what you want to do is you just want to smooth this down. And your fingers are going to get icky. They just are. But just make sure it's smooth. And it might be because of this paper. I noticed that my pictures didn't do this. But just smooth it down. Make sure all the bubbles are out. And you might let it dry for just a minute. I was surprised at how quickly it dried when I went in there to try to scrape it off. It was a mess. It was a mess. So then once you think it's dried, make sure that it's smooth and it's not raising up anywhere on the sides. It's kind of raising up over here. But once you get the Mod Podge over it, now I see some bubbles. So just make sure that it's smooth and the bubbles are out. I don't know if you can see the bubbles from there. And it could be because of this paper. Like I said, I noticed that pictures, the photo paper doesn't do that. So then you're just going to very lightly put a coat over the top of that. And you can, after this dries, you can put several coats on, you know, as protection. And then you're going to let it dry before you put on your next coat. Which I don't think this video is going to be long enough for you to watch it dry. Kind of like watching water boil. It's just not going to happen. But you have the understanding of what it's all about. I'm going to go ahead and do another one. While this one, I don't see, we're just going to set this aside. And I'm going to work on a black one. Remember, first thing you do is make sure your tile is cleaned off and it's dry and there's no dust or anything on that. And then you are going to very carefully, which you can see it a little bit easier on the black tile. Now I don't know how this is going to work on different textures of tile, but I know Lowe's had some really, really, really neat sandstone tiles that I thought would be cool for pictures. And like I said, that is really a neat way to display your pictures. I'm going to do another video on Mod Podging on canvas, but that's not today. That's another video, not for today. Okay, your 4x4 square, you're going to set down on top, center it. I might not have said that for that one, but you're going to center it, you're going to smooth it, and really, I very rarely use this. You know, I normally just use my fingers because it just seems easier to do it like that. You're going to work out the bubbles, make sure it's smooth, make sure the edges, now you can use this on the edges. I'll probably do that. So how am I doing so far with my first DIY video? I'm like a Pinterest freak, so I learn everything that I can. I lay in bed at night and watch Pinterest videos, look at Pinterest ideas, try to get some ideas for something new to do, because I'm not really that crafty. I mean, I'm crafty. If you look around my craft room, you would think that I'm on it with everything I do, but I'm really not. Now I have a friend that could paint anything or work on anything and it would be amazing. For me, it takes a lot of work to even get stuff accomplished. I'm a good writer, but when it comes to crafts, I really have to work at it. Not all of us can be crafty. We can all want to be crafty, but we aren't all gifted like that. So some of it, you know, we just have to, sometimes you just have to take what you can get and, you know, just work with what you got. That's why I'm showing you this video, because this is really pretty simple. It doesn't take, you know, anybody, oh, there's some bubbles. Got to work those bubbles out. And it looks like I might not be able to work the bubbles out on this one. Yep. I don't think we're going to be able to get the bubbles out on this one. And you know, it could be the paper. I've said that like 3 times on this video, but I'm thinking it's the paper. So I'm just going to Mod Podge over the top of it and we're going to see what happens. I don't know. Yeah, that doesn't look good. This one looks good, but this one doesn't look so good. But I'm not going to put you through the torture of watching me try to take it off. We're just going to Mod Podge over the top of it, and maybe it'll work out okay. Maybe if we put enough Mod Podge over the top of it, in those ditches right there, you won't even know it. I think we might just have to call this a one that didn't work out so good. As you can see, there are bubbles on that. And really, if I'm using it as a coaster, which I'm a perfectionist and I don't like this, but if I put it as a coaster for my husband, he won't care. He just won't. And he probably won't even notice it. I'll notice it, but if his glass is on it, I won't notice it. So anyway, let's move on to this one, go back to this one, and I'll just show you before it dries how it is drying. You can see that it's drying, and I'm going to go ahead and just put another coat on while it's still a little wet, and you should really wait for it to dry, but it's dry enough that it's going to be okay to put another coat on. Make sure that you smooth it out. And you go in one direction. You don't want to go in all different directions, because then when it dries, it will not be nice and neat. And you're going to want it to be nice and neat. So, we're going to let these dry. That one looks horrible. I am not happy with that at all. But like I said, it's not going to matter with the glass under it, and I'll make sure the lights are low in the living room and nobody will even know the difference. So anyway, this is the project. Oh, let me show you. I won't be able to show you on those because they're wet, but I'll show you on one of these pictures of my grandkids how to put on the little dots, the little felt dots. If you were wanting to use this as a coaster, because let's face it, that's rough and that's going to scratch your tables, it'll scratch glass, it'll scratch whatever. But this is what it looks like when it's dry. See, there's no bubbles. There's no bubbles for the picture, so you might want to use the picture. Anyway, you just take off the little felt dots. You stick them in the corners. Stick them like so. Put one on each corner. And there you have it. You have your coaster. And let's just take a look from this view. See, it doesn't scratch, the felt dots are on, and it's all good. Now, I'm just going to go ahead and set this over here with the felt dots on it. I won't be using it as a coaster, but if I were to, it would protect my table. So, anyway, I can't think of anything I'm leaving out. It's a very simple project. Not expensive at all. I would say probably less than $25, maybe $20 at the most. But I appreciate you watching. If you liked my video, click like and subscribe to my channel. My channel's a running dough. It's not just DIY how-tos. There's a lot of hunting information. Some of it's useful, some of it's not. But I appreciate you watching this video, and if you have any questions, email me or leave them in the comments below. Thank you. Have a good Saturday. Bye.